Hello, I'm Vechio and welcome to episode 4 of my Gaul campaign on Rome Total War. So today we are in a pretty good position. We have destroyed faction of the Roman Julii, which is excellent news, and we're expanding into southern Italy essentially. There are of course other enemies around though, so we'll need to keep an eye on them. So I haven't played this for a little while, so let's just have a quick look and see where we're at. So we took Arretium last time. And let's have a look at the army in here. So yes, it was a battered army. Essentially, I came in with all the warband in the world, and vast amounts of them got completely destroyed. So I'm not particularly bothered about retraining them. It's going to be expensive and it's going to be inefficient. I know a few of them have got a bit of experience, but we'll just merge them. Hopefully the experience doesn't get diluted too much, and I'll just skip to when I've merged all these together, and we'll see where we are from there. Okay, so this is actually what we've got in Arretium. We have 5 full units of warband, some barbarian cavalry, and then Vechio with only 9 guards, or him and 8 guards, which isn't exactly great. He got a little bit battered in that fight against the Romans. And then outside we have Captain Nerin with some more warband. We'll just quickly merge these together as well. Like so, just dragging them across together. So sort of 1.5 units of warband, 2 skirmisher warband. We can get rid of these guys, they're just going to be more trouble than they're worth. Okay, so we'll put them inside the city, and that's the situation we've got in there. In terms of agents, I can see we have a spy. This is quite important. We need him moving down south to have a look at the Brutii, which will probably be our next target. And he's not a particularly good spy because he now can't see the Roman army, which is very poor. Okay, so there's Captain Placus here with a decent sized army made up of Hastati and stuff, so slightly concerned about that. And we have got a lot more soldiers than they have, but they have better quality ones. In fact, talking about that, let's have a look at and see what our army is like in terms of military ranking in comparison to all the other factions in the game. We'll put it to all the factions, why not? Okay, so overall we are lost in the mess of lines. Okay, I tell you what, we'll just compare myself to the Romans. That would make more sense, because there are so many factions at the beginning. I don't want to compare myself to all of these, but we should be in a relatively strong position. We shall see. Okay, so we are at the top of overall ranking. We are doing better than the Romans, but obviously these 4 combined are against us. Well, in fact, the Julii aren't at all now, so we can forget the Julii. These 3 are working together, so that as a force complete, the Romans are stronger than I am. But in terms of military, which is what I'm interested in, we do have a large military, probably about 53,000 troops. So we do have a great military. I say that, we have a numerous military, not exactly great quality troops. Production ranking has gone up and down dramatically. This is because I've been spending a lot of money on military as opposed to production, which has possibly cost me financially, but it's benefited me militarily, and I'm hoping the economy thrives as a result of our military success. Territory's not gone up in a little while, that hasn't updated since last time. Financially though, we're very, very poor. Which is not good, and then population we're relatively high up. Okay, so it's not too bad. So anyway, we've got more troops than the other Romans, but they're not as good quality, so we obviously need a lot more. So that's in Arretium. In Ariminum, we have basically nothing. Another unit of warband and some horses. Segesta is relatively unprotected. 2 warband in Batavium, and 2 generals and a warbander. I want to move one of these generals down. In fact, possibly both of them. I'd quite like one of them to be in Batavium. I like Batavium, it's one of my favourite settlements. And then possibly one in Ariminum or Arretium. Or they could both possibly move to Ariminum and Arretium, because Vechio will likely be moving down towards the Brutii. So these generals look pretty much the same. He can move to Ariminum, and there won't be any good mercenaries on the way. Double check. Nope, there's barbarians. And then as for Mediolanum, Belenus can move down to Arretium. Okay, so that's that sorted out. So I want to recruit a bit more. as usual, I do like recruiting. So let's have a look at Arretium. They are not recruiting any troops at the moment, which is not good enough. We need some swordsmen, most certainly. I would like some more cavalry, but barbarian cavalry it's okay. Okay, as we've got a lot of warband here, let's get one unit of cavalry and let's get some swordsmen. Might have to cancel that if we run out of money before the end of the turn. And then here we can have some more cavalry, like so. Okay, so we've got pretty much 3,000 denarii, which is nice. And none of these settlements are recruiting troops at all. Now, let's have a look at the situation up here. Because, yes, the British, I'm pretty sure we agreed a ceasefire with them, and then they broke it pretty much straight away, which is annoying because, really, I'd like an alliance or something like that, or definitely at least a ceasefire with the British, but I suppose I did instigate a war with them, so, yeah. This army is Captain Taximagalus, probably said that wrong. It's a large army, probably similar troops to what we've got, but it's larger than the army we've got, so yep, slightly concerning. We're recruiting warband. There's not a lot we can do to relieve it because Rennes up here hasn't really got anything to offer in terms of military. Alesia has a slight amount, but I don't feel like it'd be enough to relieve this settlement. So I'm going to just try and defend it with the warband and the cavalry we've got inside. I think that should be okay. So as for elsewhere, Lebanon has barely got any military in it at all. Same goes for Niber, Martius and Massilia. Now the situation in Spain, I have no great desire to take Spain. In all honesty, I find Spain is not too difficult to take, but it's quite a large area of land, and I don't feel for the effort that it takes, it's not worth it in my opinion. We're going after some quite profitable land in Italy at the moment, so it's not really worth taking Spain in my opinion. But I still have built up a force in Numantia. A small force, but I built up a force just in case the Spanish don't live up to the terms of the alliance, which is quite possible because betrayal is quite a big thing in this game. So, I think we need to march on the Brutii, but I'm pretty sure this turn is near over because that's how we left it last time, so there's not a lot more we can do. I'd like to get this spy down and see what the state of the Brutii is. Possibly, if the Brutii are looking strong, there is one Scipii settlement over here. I believe it is not Messana, Capua. So if the Brutii are looking strong, this isolated Scipii settlement might be our next target. I want to avoid the Senate for the moment, as I alluded to a couple of parts ago. So I'm going to advance in time and we'll see what happens. Okay, so the Senate army have moved northwards. Carthage are speaking to us, I don't know what that was about. And so is Spain. I don't know if they're trying to bribe the generals or something, I'm not really sure about that. Okay, so the Senate aren't particularly happy with us, and their army is moving up, which is slightly concerning. In fact, it's very concerning because if I move my troops down south to take on the Brutii, I'm exposing them to Gaius Maxentius, which is, well, it would be disastrous. Strongest faction is Germania. That's not good, because I wanted an alliance with Germania. I've wanted an alliance with them for a long time, and they're just not interested at all. Is this our diplomat here? Okay, I mean, I'd like to arrange a ceasefire with the British again. What would you want for a ceasefire? They're not going to accept it, but no, exactly. Oh no, they've agreed to it. Okay, that won't last for long, but I'm incredibly surprised. So that's really good because this settlement is no longer under siege. So there you go. Sometimes just pushing your luck and sort of testing out what the CPU will agree to, it can be beneficial. Most advanced faction is us. Okay, that's interesting. Construction and recruitment, that's fine. Diplomatic information. There are, okay, lots of alliances. So Germania and Thrace, that's not particularly ideal, and I'll tell you why. my plan was to have an alliance with Germania, and then for them to focus on wars against the Dacians, Scythians, and Thracians to the east of Germania. But if they're allied with the Thracians, it means there's one less enemy for them to focus on, meaning there's more likely to focus on us. If they are having an alliance against Dacia or Scythia, that's fine. They can get onto a big long war, and I'll leave them. That's great. Scythia and Macedon are allies. That's an interesting one. I quite like that. So there could be a massive war there between Thrace, Germania, and then Scythia and Macedon. That would be quite good. And then Pontus and Egypt are allies. That's also interesting and won't last for long. The Greek cities in Carthage have declared a ceasefire as well. Guessing maybe they were arguing on the island of Sicily. And then ceasefire in effect between us and Britain, which I'm quite happy to honour, but I doubt the British will. Okay. So, the situation is most concerning over here because of Maxentius, who's not got a massive army, and, well, at least 2 of the units are Weletes, which aren't that strong. So, it's not too concerning. First thing I want to do, though, is move the spy into Vechio Territory. So, okay, so we can see Tarentum. I'm wondering if there is a position where we can see Tarentum, Croton, and Capua. They are the 3 Roman cities we haven't captured yet, other than Rome, obviously. It doesn't seem so.
Moving into position.
Okay, so I've got this sort of position. I mean, I can see Tarentum, and looking at it, it's relatively strong. 2 war dogs, 2 generals, and 3 Hastati. That's a decent sized force. And then outside, Captain Publius has got more Hastati. There's quite a few troops on the Brutii mainland. I would quite like to get the spy maybe into Scipionis territory, but I did see an army there, which I should have looked at before moving my scout further. But there you go. Okay. And as for Rome, I'm guessing that's highly defended. It's not too bad, but I'm pretty sure there'll be other Senate armies. I don't particularly want to attack this one without fully knowing what's going on. But I do want to proceed with gaining more land. I don't want to sit around and wait for someone to attack us. Now, looking over here, there is Carolus. It's this settlement here. It's Carthaginian on the island of Sardinia. And that's not defended at all. There might be an army around here, but that would be quite nice to take Carolus. Our lack of navy, though, possibly would prohibit us from doing so. Plus, I'm not sure how profitable it would be. So, something we'll have to consider. Belenus move into Arretium. And Meriadoc move into Ariminum. Okay, so in terms of our army, it's alright, but it's not particularly strong. I would like it to be stronger, and there are quite a few diplomats over here. Do we have a diplomat over here? That's the question. We do. Okay, that's nice. So let's have a talk to some people. Dacian diplomat first, and we already have trade rights. Okay, that's a shame. I wanted trade rights, but I'll offer map information for map information. I won't offer them alliance because that could, and that's no. Okay, I won't offer them an alliance. I'm not interested in that in a moment. I will talk to Germany about an alliance again. I don't know what I would have to do to get an alliance. They really don't want one. Maybe I'll offer them money next time. I don't know. Greek diplomat. So I'd like trade rights and map information for. Map information as well. That seems like a fair deal, and that is a fair deal. So we can now see a bit of the Greek territory and also the Macedon territory. So we've got a bit of a view on the area around Greece and the area around Turkey as well. And then, is there any other diplomats around here? There seems to be a lot of diplomats around here, which is quite interesting. Okay, so not particularly. If anything, this diplomat should be moving south just in case we need to have peace with the Romans at some point, which is incredibly unlikely, but possible. And this guy, with the swordsman, can move into Ariminum. Okay, so we are building up a decent force. It's just whether it's strong enough to take on the Brutii. If you remember from last part when we took Arretium, it took a huge number of soldiers to take one settlement. So if we're going after 3 settlements in the south, we're going to need a big army. So I want to further recruit in Arretium and Ariminum. So Ariminum can't recruit swordsmen, so it makes sense for them to recruit cavalry. And then Arretium can recruit the swordsmen, which is what they're doing. That's nice. Okay. don't think we're quite ready to attack, but we are sort of ready to build an army up. So, I'm trying to think about this. So, I'd like Lugatorix to lead the army. I quite like Lugatorix. He's a good commander. He is a good manager, so he could stay in assessment. Let's have a look at Belenus. Belenus is nowhere near as good. Okay, so we're going to move some troops from Ariminum over to Arretium. We'll have these 4. We could take 2 generals, you know, just for some more cavalry, which is what we're lacking at the moment. So we'll move these guys over here. Ariminum's not happy with that, but we'll move some troops from Arretium to Ariminum to pacify that situation. Skirmisher Warband and this weakened cavalry I'm not bothered about, so they can move over to Ariminum. And instantly they're happier. Not particularly happy, but they're happier. And also Belenus can move over to Ariminum as well. And we shall lower the tax rate slightly, just so they're not too upset. Okay, so we have Porodorix with 5 units, including himself, and then all these warband. We won't take that set of warband, but we'll take pretty much all of this over as well. So we have a fair bit of money, so we should look to recruit. I want to recruit more in this settlement. Okay, we are recruiting, so that's fine. Because yeah, I'm worried about the British. But maybe we can start constructing a bit more. I think that would be nice. Particularly having a naval force would be nice as well. Arretium is the only place with a port, and considering Arretium is a recruitment centre for troops at the moment, doesn't really make a lot of sense. So let's get to Gesticon have a port. Okay, can Massilia have a port? I would like a port over here in the Mediterranean somewhere. And possibly Patavium, but I'd rather it at Massilia. Massilia cannot have a port. Okay, let's have a look at Patavium, who I'd like to lower the tax rate on regardless of what they're on. Okay, so we have a Sacred Grove of Essus, but I would quite like a port. I think that would be good. So let's get a port, get some navy around here, and maybe if we can have a look a bit at Carolus over here. So, okay, so we're starting to build an army. Segesta, you must be able to recruit something or do something. Is muster field? What's that? Oh, those warband. I don't particularly. So they can't recruit anything. Segesta's terrible. Okay, and it hasn't even got enough population to recruit barbarian mercenaries. So that's interesting. Okay, so as for Arretium, I think a trader would be quite nice, especially if they've got a port as well. That would link quite nicely with that. So you can have that. As for these guys, taverns are always quite nice, but we have decent morale at the moment. Marketplace means you can recruit spies. They're already constructing at the moment, so I'm okay with that situation. I think that's enough construction over in this part of the world. Maybe Mediolanum can have something. Stables, meeting hall, practice range for that skirmisher warband. Let's get a trader. Let's get a trader in there as well. That'd be nice. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip out me choosing what constructions because I could take quite a long time working out for all these settlements. I'll come back in a minute and just tell you basically what I've done. Okay, so I've spent quite a bit of money. Basically, each settlement has got either communal farming or a market growing. Actually, I didn't check the southern cities. I've got quite a few settlements now. It can get quite hard to keep up with all of them. Mines adds 200 income for mining, so it would take 10 turns to get even equal on that, so we'll just get the land clearance instead. Yes, I've got quite a few settlements now, so it takes quite a while to actually work out what's going on with all of them. But that's not necessarily a bad problem to have. So, we've nearly got an army here for Arretium, and we can start moving down south, either on the Scipii or the Brutii, depending on what goes on with the Senate. He might attack Porodorix, in which case he'll have to retreat into Arretium, I don't know. We'll have to see what's going on, so I'll meet you at the end of this turn. Okay, let's see what happens. So our ship's moving down. I can't remember why I did that. The Brutii are moving some armies around, but nothing particularly seems to have gone on. Carthage are still trying to talk to Narbo Martius. I'm not really sure what that's about. And look, look at that. It's
We're under siege.
the only point of having a ceasefire against the British is to stop them attacking for one turn. That's literally all it does. Very interesting. Okay, so settlement besieged. I'm aware of this. End of turn report. Most advanced faction is Egypt now. Construction, recruitment, and diplomatic information. We are now at war with the British, and Dacia and Scythia are at war with each other. So very interesting along here. We have Germania and Scythia, I believe. We'll have a look. I think it's Germania and Scythia are allies. And then, wait, so let's have a look. So Macedon and Scythia are allies. Germania is allied with Thrace. And then Dacia haven't got any alliances, they're just at war with the Scythians. So Dacia, although they have 4 territories, they're likely to collapse very soon. And there's going to be, I think, there's going to be a massive war over here between Germania, Thrace, Scythia and Macedon. And then Dacia's right in the middle of all this, so that is incredibly interesting. Now, as for the Brutii, they moved this army out, so they have quite a strong army here, whereas Tarentum is basically still got... Okay, so Tarentum is kind of off the cards at the moment. Yeah.
Yes, master.
So, I'm trying to find Croton. I think... You see, I thought Croton was around here, but I didn't see it when the spy was moving past. So maybe it's there. Let's have a look at Capua, which should be here.
Moving into position.
Okay, here's Capua, it's up there. Juliana, Scipio, and then some troops, obviously, and then the faction heir. Nope, just a family member. Various troops here. A lot of them Welates, which isn't too concerning. But still, that's it's a decent sized force.
Moving into position.
And then we can just about see Croton here with 2 garrison in. If there is a weakness, it is Croton. Now, until my spy moves down there properly, there might be a massive army around here. I don't know. But Croton seems like the weakness. And we also have a view of Messana, the Scipii settlement, with only 4 garrison in. So, in my eyes, the weakness is over here, this region. Now, to get to it efficiently and safely, we probably need a navy. But that we are in absence of currently. So, do we march through their land? That's quite risky. Or do we just wait for a boat? I'm electing to wait for a boat. So we do have a port here in Arretium, where we shall recruit a trireme. Or, okay, I forgot this isn't the Romans. This is the Gauls, so they just have boats. 1 turn, 486 denarii, that's fine. And it will also allow us to just recruit a bit more over here. You can have a warband. And then maybe someone can move down from Batavium, this swordsman, and this warband. It's taken them quite a while, but you can move down anyway. As well. And then Ariminum, U cavalry. And do we want a skirmisher warband? Could be a little bit useful. Don't know. We'll see. You can at least join Emporodorix, and then these guys will also join him. We'll get him over to the port, so he has less time to walk, meaning more movement points next turn. And in fact, we'll do the same for Arretium. So, so who's going to join? Lugatorix is going to join. All of these guys, not that bloke. We won't use the barbarian cavalry that are depleted. This is our army. Might even be too big. No, it's not. Okay, that's a shame. Okay, so it's a decent sized army, and if we spot weaknesses, then we can exploit them if they're leaving a town ungarrisoned or something. But there are armies floating around. The Romans always have armies floating around. So, yeah, we'll move Belenus back to Arretium just to restore the balance of morale. Did that make Ariminum happier? Okay, I'm not sure about that. Right, so that's that. We'll have a boat there. It's going to take us quite a while to get down there. There's not a lot we can do about it though. And I don't think there are any mercenaries around at all. Yeah, difficult playing as Gaul because the mercenaries are very, very poor. But there you go. So there doesn't seem to be a huge amount more we can do this turn. Where was that diplomat I sent down? We have the Greek, Germanian. I swear I sent a diplomat around here somewhere to move down south. There he is.
Awaiting your
Okay, so let's move him down here
at once.
because he can walk freely through their land. He can also act as a little bit of a spy. So now we have a bit of a vision of Rome, which is nice. So that is seemingly all we can do in northern Italy for the moment. So let's move on. If this part of the world is garrisoned tightly, maybe we can go for Caralis. I don't know. We'll see. There is a boat here. Rebel navy of pirates, which is slightly annoying. But okay. Now, as for Britain, they have attacked again. I mean, I could offer a ceasefire, but it seems extremely futile at this point because the same thing just happens over and over. But you know what? He can speak to this British guy anyway. I can't reach him even this turn. Now, this navy isn't really doing a lot, and it's incredibly weak. Let's just move it around here. I don't know. It's just sort of floating around now. It's sort of slightly irrelevant. Yeah, and then we have Numantia. Okay, so there's not a huge amount more we can do, but what I am thinking is we could start another war. I know this is kind of ridiculous in many senses because, you know, we've got the Romans we're fighting against, but I feel like these areas of land are just sort of being wasted. These guys are just holding out against the British, and then these guys are just sitting here doing nothing. It seems like we need more expansion in other directions, or we move more troops over to the north of Italy. I'm not entirely sure at the moment, but either way, I think we need to progress slightly more. Now, are the Spanish and the Carthaginians allies? Because I don't want to attack Carthage if that provokes war with Spain. They're allied with Spain. Annoying. Okay, we'll leave that for the moment. I think I'm going to move forward one more turn because there's not a lot more we can do until we get into that boat. So, yeah, we'll move on and I'll see you in a second. Okay, let's see what happens. So there is a Scipii army in Messana. That Roman army's moved up again. Lemonum's not happy for some reason. It just turned unhappy. Okay, that's interesting. So, end of turn report. Town expands, this is good. Massilia. So, is that our first large town? Probably not, but anyway, I would like to upgrade Massilia. He said I could upgrade oh yeah, Warlord's Hold. Yeah, so that makes it, the settlement grow to the next level so I can recruit and have better buildings. So, and then diplomacy. Wow, okay, so Thrace and Dacia are now allies, which was a good move for Dacia. They've chosen their side in the war. And then Dacia and Scythia are now at a ceasefire. So we now have Germania, Thrace and Dacia, who will surely at some point go to war against Macedon and Scythia, unless the Macedonians are too bothered with Brutii and the Greeks, which is possible as well. Very interesting situation going on there, though. Okay, so we have our navy here, and it can't move because these pirates are in its way, and they are strong pirates. So incredibly frustratingly, we're going to have to go round Corsica and then down like that. There's nothing we can do about that. But anyway, Lugatorix can get onto this boat. Is there any more troops we can bring along? Don't really think. I don't really think so. So no. Okay. This admiral's going to have to go round. I'm worried them all being on a ship, I'll be honest, because these pirates... Oh, okay, that's a Carthaginian navy. That's not so bad. So how far can this boat travel in one turn? Far. A lot further than we can. Do we risk? Do we risk it? Yeah, I'll risk it. I'll risk it. I'll go as far away from them as I can, around that way. I know we are sailing away from Italy. But I'm thinking of looping round Carolus anyway, just because if we can take that settlement, it'd be quite handy as well. So, very, very annoying, the positioning of the pirates, but you know, things don't always go your way in this game, especially on this difficulty. So we're going to move down here, and the diplomat's been stopped on his journey. Just carry on. Scipio seems to have quite a strong hold over here. I want to have a look over this region, and to do so, we have this spy. He hasn't got very good visibility. So we have Croton, 3 units. I would have thought that would have been close enough, but apparently not. So yeah, we do have limited visibility over this region. But there we go. Okay. So, the situation we are at is the British. We'll talk to the British again. I know the ceasefire means absolutely nothing to them, but if it stops them from putting our settlement under siege for a while, we'll offer them trade rights, map information. You know, I don't have any problem with the British. It's time to end the bloodshed. They want ceasefire and trade rights. That's fine. That is actually fine, but they won't honour the ceasefire at all. But there we go. I mean, I feel like I've got to move it another turn. There's nothing more I can do. I can recruit in Arretium and Ariminum. Swordsman always good. And swordsman here. Actually, maybe we could recruit another naval force. Let's have a little bit more. Let's have a little bit more navy to join up with them. Okay, so we have some money. So let's construct while we have the chance. Blacksmith. I'm not too bothered about that. Communal farming's alright. Tavern. Let's get the market because they have a port, so that links in quite well with each other. And then for this place, Arretium, let's have. We could have another port, but let's have. What's a meeting hall again? Oh, they can have swordsmen if they do that. Why not? Okay. Yeah. So these swordsmen are going to move down to Arretium. Tavium's not constructing, so we should get that going. Communal farming I quite like. And I think that's all we can do for this turn again. So, yeah, I'm sorry for this, but the positioning of the boats, particularly the pirate boats, means we can't just go straight for Italy. We have to go looping around. It's what happens sometimes. So, I'll skip forward, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so, we have not been put under siege from the British. I forgot to check Lebanon. That was very stupid of me. And look at that. Oh, great. So now they've got 2 armies around here. I don't understand. Why do the British accept the ceasefire and then attack us straight away every time? It's a constant cycle. But we have actually prevented them from taking this settlement because they keep lifting the siege. Meaning they have to build new siege equipment again. We're, again, the most advanced faction. And then diplomacy. Thracia and Scythia, that ceasefire didn't last very long. And Scythia and Thrace I didn't even know this. The Scythians and Thracians had an alliance. And this is the beginning of a war, in my opinion. Between Scythia and Thrace, which is what I predicted a while back. First thing, we'll lift the siege. We'll lift the siege by offering them a ceasefire. And they don't want to this time. And now they have 2 armies instead of 1. So we have quite a strong army here. It's just that we've been recruiting a lot here because the British keep knocking at the door. And by knocking, I mean building siege equipment and then ramming the doors. But there we go. Lebanon has a very high tax rate. Lebanon is always a settlement I find hard to keep happy. So I would quite like some happiness here. Yeah. That would be nice. So, here is the situation with Italy and our navy. We have to move around here and hope there are no pirates. I'm ready on the backspace just in case I see any pirates nearby. None that I can see. That's good. Now there don't seem to be any armies around this point, so we could try and sneak an army around to join them maybe, but we don't have a particularly strong force, so maybe not. It's annoying that Britain are besieging us here, because I'd quite maybe like to expand into Germania, especially if they're going to engage in a war with the Scythians. But yeah, I can't move this army out obviously because they're under siege. And I don't know if it's time that we go to Spain yet. I'm doubting that currently. So I tell you what, I think next turn we're going to put Caralis under siege first, if there is not a force on the Sardinian island. We'll move this diplomat down again. I don't think there is any armies around here, which is quite good, but we'll just move the diplomat around here just so we can see Croton finally. And also we have our spy, who's not doing a great job. I'm pretty sure there are forces here in Messana. No? Okay. We'll move him just there. Hopefully he can see a little bit of Sicily. I don't know how he can see over the water, but he can. So yeah. I'd quite like to take Sicily at some point. But yeah, we'll move this navy over to Caralis next. And put that under siege. And then this boat actually can join them. I don't think... Can they join? Because there's two... Yes, they can join. So that navy is you know, double the strength now, which is nice. As for Retium, they can just recruit more. We need to take the fight to the Romans still. And they can have more warband. They're close to being able to recruit swordsmen. Okay, the economy's working out quite well. You know, we have money every turn to spend, and that's because we're starting to finally invest in farming and markets. Let's actually get a market here, and then Lebanon, Musterfield, and Rhodes. No, Lebanon's very poor, to be honest. Yeah, so I feel like we're in a good situation. I do neglect these two settlements. I completely forget that I have them. The mines aren't good value for money. And we can have land clearance after we built that building there, Warlord's Hold or something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is advance the turn again. I'm sorry that it's a lot of advancing turns, but when you have to travel quite a long distance to get somewhere in the game, you just have to, you can't do anything more. So there will be a battle in this episode, don't worry, and I'll meet you at the end of next turn. So let's see what's going on. Carthage is speaking to us again. There's a Carthaginian fleet. I'm not that bothered about that because we are not at war with them. Spain are talking to Numantia and they're moving armies around, and we have been attacked. We're not going to win this, and I'm concerned because there is an army on this boat. Clear defeat. This, oh my goodness, okay. So, this fleet has been moved all the way over here because the pirates have pushed us back. So we're going to have to move back to where we were. But now we have, and now there's a Carthaginian navy in our way, which we don't want to attack because we don't want war with them. So, we haven't lost any troops, which is good. Really want to get to Caralis as quickly as I can, but obviously, you know, things are not going for us. Faction announcements, there's a coming of age. Vechio or something. 16, Pawn of the Gods. So he has one trait, and it's not a good one. He is in Alesia, which is okay. Alesia actually has a decent sized army, which could be moving down south really. So him, Barbarian Cavalry, and this Warlord can move to Mediolanum. And oh my goodness, we've been ambushed. Okay. Can we retreat back into Alesia? Yes, we can. Okay. No.
Out of moves.
We've retreated behind Alesia. And the rebels are standing just outside the door now. This is not good. What is this force? Captain... Okay, so naked fanatics are quite good. There's two barbarians, which... two warband, which I'm not bothered about. And then some barbarian cavalry. I think we can take this, to be honest. But...
Yes.
I'm
Forward.
not too bothered about taking it now. It's something I will do at some point. Pontus and Armenia have an alliance. That's cool. Okay. So all I can do at this point is recruit more in northern Italy, recruit an army, maybe to take Capua at some point. You know, we have got the starts of a nice looking army over here. Let's get some more cavalry. Yeah, so, you know, we're just recruiting swordsmen. We're doing all we can until we can get that boat over. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, Britain have not attacked yet, so we're just going to have to recruit more and more warband. Okay, I'm going to move on another turn. I'm praying we get to Carolus this turn. It's been crazy. I've really just, all I've wanted to do is take one settlement at least this turn. I've really wanted to get to the Romans, but I'll take the Carthaginians if necessary. Yeah, we'll move one more turn. Hopefully we can besiege Carolus. Okay, so every turn Carthage talks to Narbo Martius. I don't know about what. And Germania talking to Arretium. I think that's trying to bribe someone. And then this British force has attacked our force, and we have been defeated because our navy is terrible. It really is bad. I'm not bothered about this. These pirates have attacked us again.
Sail for your lives!
Right, okay. Obviously we got defeated there. Have we lost any of our army? No. We haven't. I don't think we've lost anyone. And that's actually, in a way, that's actually not worked out too bad because it's pushed us the way we wanted to go. But that means this navy is particularly vulnerable. Scythia and Germania have announced an alliance. This is really confusing now. So, in this situation, Scythia, Thrace and Germania sort of have an alliance, and then Macedon has an alliance, and then Germania has, and then Dacia has an alliance with Scythia. So basically everyone's allied with everyone, but nobody's at war with each other. So instead of a massive war, they're all one happy family at the moment, which will not last. Now, there doesn't seem to be any Carthaginian armies here, and this army is peasants and town militia. So, although I don't particularly want war with Carthage, because it makes Numantia incredibly vulnerable, because if the Spanish turn on us as well, we're screwed. Numantia is screwed because it's completely surrounded. I think we need to expand more, and Carolus is vulnerable. This is the opportunity to take it. So we will put this ship on the mainland, and Lugatorix with his big army, his excessively big army, can take Carolus. Now there are some good mercenaries available, finally. I'm not bothered about Peltasts. They're sort of like Weletes, if you're Roman, or they're a bit like the Skirmisher warband. But the hoplites are really good. Love hoplites. They're the only phalanx unit I think the Gauls get. Yeah, they form a phalanx. They're, I think they have good morale. They're good stamina, but they can form a phalanx, which is good. Anyway, we are going to attack the Carthaginians. I am decisive in this, and we won't need a huge amount of siege equipment. Probably like 2 rams, which we can build in a turn. 3 rams, why not? Okay, alliance in tatters. Oh, okay, this is good. This is really good. So, the Spanish were allied with us, and then they allied with the Carthaginians. They had to sort of choose sides now because their 2 people were at war. Their 2 allies were at war with each other, so they chose us, which is good. So, Spain should not turn on us, and then of course war between us and Carthage. So, what this means though is that if Carthage is vulnerable here, we'll move a diplomat down to sea. We could possibly take this settlement, which I think is Carthago Noa. No, Cordoba. That one's Carthago Noa. Must be. Yeah. Okay. Then, yeah, possibly we could take Cordoba as well, which would be nice. So, really, we need to start building an army in Numantia to move down south, and possibly expand in that direction. So, a warband can go down here. No spies available in Numantia, which is a bit of a shame. So this diplomat is going to have to act as a spy, essentially. So yeah, Carolus is going to be taken next turn. That should be a really easy fight. As for Arretium and Ariminum, more recruitment. Just recruit around here. That's all that's needed. And I think Ariminum can produce swordsmen now. They can indeed, which is nice. So they can have that. And soon we should have an army capable of moving down south as well, so we can have like a 2-pronged attack on the Romans, which is nice. As for Britain, they still haven't attacked, so I don't know if they're waiting for us to sally forth. 3 turns until our surrender, and they haven't attacked yet. We will have to sally soon if they don't attack us, so we'll have to see how that goes.
Lord?
Right, this army can move in here. There is a German force very near us. Very near us. There's only 2 units in it, but we don't want them to attack us because then it instigates war with them. So we have to pray they don't attack. Not because we can't cope with them, but because we don't want to cope with the whole of Germania being at war with us due to one fight. So we'll leave them at the moment, even though they are technically encroaching on our territory. Other than that, we shall continue and take Carolus this turn. As for this navy, well, it's not going to take that Carthaginian navy. This navy is really poor. So, I'll just. How far can the Carthaginians move to? There. Okay, so we'll move it just out of reach of the Carthaginians, so they can't quite get to us. Possibly there are pirates around there though, so that navy might not be safe. In fact, Arretium, instead of recruiting swordsmen, can recruit more boats. We need a navy up here. So there we go. Okay. Carolus should be ours next turn, and I will join you and we will do this battle, I promise. Okay, so what's going on? Same as usual, Carthage are talking to us, and then Spain will talk to Arretium. Oh no, sorry, Germania will talk to Arretium. I think they're trying to bribe one of our generals there, I'm pretty sure. We might actually get 2 battles this turn if the British attack, which they don't. So, town grows. Which town is this? Batavium, the fastest growing town ever, I'm pretty sure. Agent found. Yeah, Germany will instigate war soon, I imagine. Thrace and Parthia. That's very interesting. Thrace and Parthia alliance. Thrace being over here, Parthia being over here. So, odd, but okay. A very odd alliance, but why not? Okay. So, we can. Okay, so that pirate ship was very near us. And there does seem to be a Carthaginian force of Bomilcar. Okay, there is a big Carthaginian force ready to reinforce Carolus. Now, rather than fight within the city walls, I would possibly rather fight out in the open field against Bomilcar and the force that is in Carolus. So that is something to consider. What I'll do is, let's just see, if we attack Carolus, Bomilcar will reinforce. Yes, we do have a lot stronger army. It's a matter of, do we want to attack Bomilcar? Let's have a look at his force again. So he has Town Militia, not too bothered about them, they're alright. Round Shield Cavalry are decent. They're decent. Light Cavalry they look like. Mercenary Peltasts won't stand up to anything. Iberian Infantry, I like Iberian Infantry, but they seem to be slightly depleted. Numidian Mercenaries are depleted as well, so it's not a particularly strong force. I would rather fight out in the open field than in Carolus. So, thing is, if I fight out in the open field, they could retreat into Carolus, and then we won't take the settlement this turn. So instead, I will attack Carolus. I don't particularly want to, but for the sake of time, I shall. So, here's the situation: Lugatorix, a captain, and Bomilcar. I think we're in a very good situation. The game thinks so as well. We have a lot more men. It should be relatively straightforward, but you never know on this game. Okay, so here we are. We are here attacking Carolus, and I believe Bomilcar and his army should be approaching from this region over here. So what we could do, if we're quick, is storm the city, take the town square before Bomilcar gets here. The problem with doing that is that we'll have the city, but Bomilcar will just be standing outside, which isn't ideal. So, I don't know, possibly that would be the case. So, I would still like to take the city as quickly as we can, though. So, I don't want the swordsman having the ram particularly. Can they drop the ram? Can you pick up the... Okay, you pick up the ram. It doesn't matter if the swordsman have the ram. They have towers, but they seem to be facing outwards, so it shouldn't be too much of a threat to us. and we have 3 rams. One of the rams can be poised to hit the door, whereas this ram can be poised to hit that direction, and this ram will be here to face that direction. The hoplites won't be needed that much for this battle. I might have a line over here just to have a look at Bomilcar and his army before they get into the city. I'm not sure. So we have lots of cavalry, which might be needed. I doubt it, but you never know. And then lots of warband, of course, as well. So we will get these 4 warband over here in a nice line. We shouldn't need that many units to take the city. I don't want to get the generals involved. These 3 cavalry can be here. And then what I want for these guys, minus these 2, just to hang around here, just to see what Bomilcar and his army are doing. So just move a little bit forward. Oh, and these guys as well. Just move there. Because I would predict he's coming from that direction. I'm not 100% sure though. And then also, oh, this warband here as well can just chill. I know that's not a great battle line. I'll fix it depending on what army approaches from that side. So these guys can move in. Let's see what happens. So start the battle and then pause quickly just to see what's going on. So at the front gates we have town militia. Just surround them and they'll be done for. And then the rest seems to be on the plaza. These guys might even retreat to the plaza as well. So let's unpause this. Move the rams quickly into position. You go there at the front gate. The town militia seem to be retreating to the plaza as I suspected. And then these blokes, all of these, I want to have as minimal casualties as possible. Can actually get into a group and then just go along here. Now, as for the reinforcing army, it is indeed coming over here. What I'll suspect is they'll possibly try and just go through that front gate and reinforce the city rather than attack us here. If that happens, that should be fine. They're rushing very, very quickly, so this might be a fight within the city. I don't know, to be honest. Yes, it's interesting. So we'll get this force over here. I think they're going to rush into the city, to be honest. So we'll have to take them on all inside the city walls, which should be okay. It's lagging a little bit because there's so many troops and I put it on faster speed, but you guys don't particularly want to see what's going on, I guess. Okay, so Bomilcar's army is within the city walls, so that's fine. That is fine. We have a big strong army here, a bit of a mess, but we do have an army here. Let's take these guys on. These Numidian mercenaries are javelin men, so they will have a few javelins, obviously, to take against us. Let's take out these mercenaries quickly before these armies get in. These swordsmen should do fine against these Numidians. The swordsmen haven't really tried them out yet, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. And all these rams are breaking down the walls. How are these Numidian mercenaries doing? They seem to have us like sort of pinned at the front gate. The swordsmen have seemingly lost quite a few of their men. You know what? Get out there. Get out there for a second. Okay, this is very interesting. So, the Numidian mercenaries stood up quite well, although there's only 13 of them left. Yeah, this is a bit of a mess at the moment, just because their cavalry is just rather erratic. Possibly should have used the hoplites against them, I don't know. You know what, let's just get these hoplites into these round shield cavalry. And then these guys, just get out there for a second. I don't know what they're doing. I need to assess the situation before just charging into the city. I'd like you to be quick, please. Get out the city walls. Okay, so, these hoplites. I'm amazed those mercenaries are still standing. There's 7 of them. How have they not broken? Okay, these hoplites are going to get into phalanx and surely defeat these round shield cavalry if they get into a phalanx formation. Phalanx. Lads, get into... They didn't get into phalanx. I don't know. I don't know if that was going well or not, but I just wanted to get them out. I like the hoplites too much for them to die, but they're all just dying anyway. For goodness sake. And now these... Okay. It's been incredibly messy so far. You guys get over here. You guys get over here. You guys get over here. The hoplites have been an absolute mess. Okay, finally they're routing. You guys stay here. Don't pursue. Don't pursue. All I wanted to do was assess the situation, and I ended up getting into several fights I didn't particularly want to. So, there's a lot of cavalry here. There's 3 entrances. We should be able to take them down. Round your cavalry, Numidian mercenaries, town militia. What we're going to do, these 4 units of warband attack these mercenaries. Just pause for a second. We have all these guys. You hoplites, just get out of the way. I'm not, you know, not concerned by you. But these guys, minus the cavalry, can come in, charge over here through that direction. As for this lot, these lot can come in, charge these round shield cavalry. And then they can be backed up by barbarian cavalry. You can be backed up by this cavalry. And you can be backed up by this cavalry. Let's see how that works. Everyone is rushing into action. Everyone seems to be going through the front gate rather than the left and this gate. Right, you guys attack here. I want to get these guys all surrounded. Everyone attack these guys. You blokes come over here, take the Iberian infantry down. Everyone rush into the city. Rush in. Those guys taken down. Okay, let's pause it quickly. It's a situation. There seems to be a nice route going along here. Everyone onto these peltasts. These peltasts are weak. If you can get a mass route going on, that would be really good. But everyone charge through here. Okay, that actually worked out pretty well. Might have taken a few more casualties than we should have. These guys should be running. But yeah, look at that. Lots of routing going on from the Carthaginians, which is nice. There's lots. We're just charging up the plaza. It's brilliant. I mean, this isn't a particularly coordinated battle. We sort of just charged in, but we did attack them from 3 sides. That was a little bit clever, at least. I don't know. You mercenaries can back up as well. I don't want to get the barbarian warlords involved. These guys just refuse to run, aren't they? They're very lazy. Okay, what we've got left in the plaza: town militia, peasants, lots of weak units. Town militia are fighting here. The only bad thing is we can't get them surrounded from the position we're in. Also, Lugatorix, which I did not want to get involved, as I just said, has got involved, and I don't know where he is. And now Lugatorix has to try and move back. Hopefully he's one of these ones. Just to try and move back. Luckily they're routing. Okay, their general's dead. Just pause it for a second. Lugatorix is running out. Which is good. Flipping hell. Okay. All of these guys, apart from Lugatorix and these horses, which I never wanted to get involved anyway, can carry on and pursue these guys. Let's go. Is that bomb car dead? Yes, it is. Nice. Okay, this hasn't been a great tactical victory in the sense that we just charged in. And also, these horses are just getting in the way. Okay, get around here. If you're gonna be in the way, you might as well actually be of use in the way. Get around the back of these Carthaginians. That's it. All these guys are just standing around. Come on. So these guys will fight to the last man because they're on the plaza. Like, I understand there's a lot of you in your own way, but like, come on. I'm going to skip forward a little bit because we should be churning them down. That's a captain gone. Yeah. And who are these? Peltasts, right. A few of you guys who aren't really doing anything. Like, oh, I don't know. We'll sort them out in a minute. I really don't know what's going on here. Guys can fight. These horses, I think we've got this. Well, we have got it. We have easily won. But it's hard to coordinate these barbarian troops sometimes. It's now just a matter of churning these guys down. I don't know what It's an absolute mess in there. So we have lost 17% of our army, which is too much, to be honest. We shouldn't have lost that many. But we have killed every single one of the Carthaginians. So it is a victory. I'll end the battle. It is a clear victory. We got a lot of kills, and we got a lot more than they did. And hopefully we can recover some troops. But we did lose more men than I preferably would have wanted to. So that's the downside, but we'll have to live with that. But we have taken Caralis and engaged all the Carthaginians, which I don't think is too bad. It's actually worked out pretty well because the Spanish have chosen us as the side they want to be with, which is excellent because I have no problem with the Spanish, but the Carthaginians I would quite like to just get rid of because they have a few vulnerable settlements such as Caralis and Cordoba. So Leucotorix takes Caralis and will exterminate them because of the money and because they're not particularly happy. We'll lower that tax rate. So we have Caralis. Nice, we gained somewhere this turn. As for our navy, get around here. So this navy is extremely vulnerable. We need to repair the wooden palisade, and then I'm not bothered about retraining these troops, to be honest. Not at all. We need to move this army on. So what we'll do, we will merge these units. So there's 121 in the warband, isn't there? So we'll just merge these up just so we have full units. And if there are any spare ones, then they can stay behind in Caralis. So for example, this 84 units. And then these cavalry. Okay, so I like Leucotorix, but he's only got 19 soldiers in his unit, and it makes him extremely vulnerable. So let's get Aborodoric some experience. He can move on against Rome and be joined with all these guys, the hoplites, which was my fault. I got them involved when I shouldn't have. That's the army that we have. Is there anyone else Caralis can spare? No, I don't think we need that warband. Okay, so Caralis can have that. And this army... Here's the thing, right? I don't want them to get too involved because I at least need this navy to come down. I tell you what, we'll move this navy here. This army can get off the boat. I actually don't want them on the boat because the boat is so vulnerable. It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous how vulnerable this boat is. Once we have that force and that force, it's slightly better. But Arretium needs to train more boats up as well. I was planning on striking Rome, or not Rome in this game, but the Scipii and Brutii in this episode. It's gone on for so long though because we had trouble with transporting the troops over there. That was the main problem. But next time, I assure you there will be a lot more battles, particularly in Messana, who only have 2 Hastati, and Captain Quintus has 2 more Hastati and a Weletes, so not particularly strong force. And then Croton looks a little bit weak as well, so possibly Croton as well. But yeah, definitely Sicily can be attacked. But yeah, we'll get this boat around next turn. Yeah, I think that boat can hang around there. Yeah, so as for this area, Britain, we have 2 more turns till surrender. So we'll leave it 1 more turn. If they attack us, I wouldn't actually be too unhappy about that. If they don't attack us, then we'll have to sally forth, which will be a little bit annoying, but we'll have to do that. As for Numantia, we need to continue building up a force here because we are going to war with the Carthaginians. We can recruit a spy in Numantia, but I don't think we particularly need to. So this diplomat can come around here and look at Cordoba. So there is a captain here with a strong army, which is slightly annoying, whereas Cordoba is still got a bit of an army in case we need to build up a quite big army in Numantia before we take that on, but we will at some point. So we'll skip forward a turn. If Britain attack this turn, then I will show it in this video. If not, we'll leave it to next episode where we will sally forth against the British and go against the Brutii or possibly the Scipii, depending on which one I decide to go for first. So let's have a look at that. Right, so what they decide to do? Scipii moved down south, probably to take on the settlement down there, not Lilybaeum, Syracuse, which belongs to the Greek cities. I don't know if they're going to war with them yet, but I'm sure they will do it at some point. And okay, stuff has gone on. So, rebels have blockaded us in our own port. I really hate the rebels. End of turn report, repair complete, and recruitment report. Now there was a big flash on screen, which would suggest like a natural disaster or something. I don't know, but I couldn't see anything. There wasn't any message that came up. Now I wanted to obviously reinforce, but these rebels are just so annoying. So now we can't even get out of our own port. It's ridiculous, but okay. This navy can join this navy. Now we have a bit of a stronger navy, meaning I can put these troops on board. Just before I do that, and the boat can't travel far anyway. Were there any mercenaries available? No. Okay. So this army can move down here, and we are finally moving towards the Romans, which is nice. Arretium needs to build more ships because we now need to unblockade our own port. It's madness. So yeah, more boats. We are building a navy up though, which is nice. That's very nice indeed. As for Arretium, it's building up a decent sized army. I quite like that. And I'd like this spy to... This spy can move towards Croton. This diplomat can move up here. Okay, because I want to see what the Senate are doing particularly. Sorry, what Capra are doing in particular. So, yeah, we are going to have to sally forth against the British, otherwise we will lose this town. And there are 2 family members. Possible we will lose this, because it's a lot of warband against a lot of warband. But they have more warband. So, equal troops. We do have a bit of cavalry. It's light cavalry, but if we use them properly, who knows. I would like to merge these units. Just because I like having full strength units. They tend to serve me a lot better because they break less and so on and so forth. So, and then that's 50 units. That's 50 in a unit, but whatever. Okay, so that'll be next time. We shall sally forth against the British. The odds are slightly in their favour. Let's have a look at the force. Oh, it's only 1 force. So this Senianus decided not to get involved, which is really good. Warband was what we have. They have more of them. Chariot, archers, druids, peasants. I mean, there are weaknesses. Slingers. But the odds are in their favour, in my opinion. But that will be next time. So yeah, next time should be quite a good episode. We'll have the sallying forth against the British, and we shall strike most probably Sicily, but if not Sicily, then it'll be Croton, and get to war against the Romans. So that'll be next time. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.